How's everyone doing today? So we got this lovely world that I just started, and I don't want to get too far ahead. You can see I already got kind of set up with a bit of a starter base, but there's not really much base going on. So before we get to building that base, let me catch you up with everything I've done so far, and then we can continue. While I fight to get out of spawn, I want to tell you about my experience with Minecraft lately and kind of what I have planned for this series. Personally, I never used to be like a big farm builder in Minecraft, and it was around the Village and Pillage update when farms got huge and everyone started like innovating and making bigger and bigger farms and collecting more and more resources, eventually building larger and larger bases and like skyscrapers and things like that. But I wanted to do the same thing, but without those farms and just mining for all my resources. I found myself constantly starting new projects and grinding for materials, but never finishing them just because I'd say, well, I want to finish up my house today, but I have to go to a mesa and gather all the hardened clay and make all these other materials. And eventually it just got too much and I just lost interest in the game. On top of my world I was playing in, I started around 1.8, 1.9, and if you look back then, everything looked really terrible. Honestly, this game looks wonderful compared to those older updates. I lost interest for a couple years, but eventually after seeing all the updates to 1.17 and 1.18, I started playing again and creating new worlds, but eventually just fell into the same routine of wanting to do something big, but now I had even less materials to build those bases that I wanted to, and just kind of fell into the same feeling I had originally. Recently on YouTube, I started seeing a lot of support for the older versions of Minecraft, and a lot of people saying how much better the game used to be. But looking into it, I realized that a lot of players just build farms, and the players who never did build farms are kind of getting left behind. So in this world, I want to build larger farms and contraptions to see if it'll spark my interest more than grinding all the materials out and eventually just getting bored of the game because I need 5 shulker boxes of hardened clay for this build and I have an iron pick. I used to love editing when I was younger, and if you see my channel, I have some old videos up, but I never really made an effort to grow this channel. I'm in college now and I have a path in front of me to follow, so this is just kind of a side quest for me, but uploading something has been an itch I've wanted to scratch for a long time. And revisiting this game after all this time seems like a unique insight along with watching my editing grow, and I'm actually really excited to see that. Loading in up ahead is a great example of what these newer updates brought all of us. Ever since the update Aquatic, I've wanted to build an underwater base, and plus in this world, if I'm building a lot of contraptions, it'd be best to build an underground base, so this cliffside is just kind of begging me to turn it into my next main base. Once we get better tools, we'll come back to that, but for now, we'll head further down the coast and find a place to relax and begin a bit of a starter base. After looking around the area and sleeping, I thought that this valley is a great place to set one up. Now that we have a source of food started, we should get our hands on some better tools and begin terraforming the area a little bit. And we have this area terraformed. I also continue down the path a little bit this way. I think I plan on building my house right here, and I'm gonna have to tear all of this down. I'm thinking about moving it onto these layers, and I might, with what dirt I have left, sort of bring these layers out a little bit and make these a little bit flatter so they can house, you know, some animals and some sugarcane a little bit better. So I'll get on with that, and then we can start building our house. Oh, look at that. All right, I just moved around the layers a little bit to kind of suit what I need it for. So I'm assuming, so cattle will go right around here, and then this area I'll use for sugarcane. Let's go, guys. This guy's kind of terrible. I'm trying to keep it short so I can still reach all the cows, but let's start building a house, shall we? All right, what blocks do I have to build with? Nothing.
Huh?
I'm gonna die just jumping around. I should hurt it. Here's the progress so far. This side will be more of like castle-y with sort of like a mossy stone section, and then this will be sort of wooden, more cottagey. And this is basically the shape that I'm going for. I think I've ironed out all the little tweaks I wanted to make. there's just some other things. I mean, of course, I'm going to have to add detail and, you know, finish building it. So I'm going to start by adding a little bit of a gradient to these walls. And I think I can squeeze a second floor out of this if I really wanted to. A bit of an attic if I bring this down another block. So I might do that right now. Most of my Minecraft worlds, they don't really have many farms, and I've never really, like, I've never made a gold farm before. Just in my last world, I made, like, my first iron farm. And I've never really used many farms, just because I didn't find them that fun. I'd rather go and gather materials myself. But because of that, I'm missing out on a lot of end game gameplay. Because once I plan a build and get ready to, you know, execute on it, just getting the materials is such a grind that it's not as fun to build bigger structures and everything like that. This is how I kind of like building. I like building it very flat, very clean, but we have so many new blocks that it's super easy to add textures and something like this, where it's kind of runny, but I guess moss kind of runs in the other direction. For these bricks, I think I'm going to do stone bricks into mossy stone bricks. So these bricks will turn, when the cobblestone turns into the moss, the bricks turn into the mossy cobblestone. I think that's how I'm going to do it. Because you can kind of see the textures kind of look like this is a little bit closer than this moss. At least I see it. It looks like it's kind of sitting on top of it. And the bricks look like they're sitting top of the cobblestone. So if you were to go down a layer from the stone brick, then you would get cobblestone. And when you go down a layer from cobblestone, you get moss. So you just kind of take it down a layer. And it's just kind of subtle. I'm not trying to overdo it. I'm not trying to make it look very overgrown, but I'm at least trying to give it some sort of new texture. I like building a lot of my things in survival just because I don't know MC Edit, and I don't know all these other programs. All I know are like fill commands, and that doesn't get you anywhere if you want to build. In these corners, bring it up. Maybe even like a little too much, you know what I mean? Just so, see how it kind of looks like it's kind of like you kind of put chocolate syrup on it in the morning, and then all of a sudden it's like late at night and it's all run down the top, and the top is completely clean, but the bottom has collected all the chocolate syrup. Just me. In this world, I want to lean into the farms and really start making some things that are just completely broken. Like these should get patched, you know what I mean? I found that the grind isn't really as fun as it used to be if you do it the same. Like for an example, like going into a cave and mining for iron, there's never enough iron in the cave to actually make as many hoppers as you need. Or, yeah, that's really it. That's really all iron is for, and you never have enough for it. It always seemed like I never went mining in the first place because I would go through that iron so fast. A lot of the grind isn't as fun as it used to be. That's just because there's so many new blocks and items that what you need is never enough. But in turn, they also added a bunch new ways to get all these items. And there's a lot of new things that this game adds every update and completely change old ones. Like mending, they're adding those armor trims, and the recipe is super expensive just because they're trying to bring back some value. How do I want to do these floors? Hold on for a second. How am I going to do these floors? Should I do jungle for the floors? Do I really want to do jungle for the floors? I don't really think I want to do jungle for the floors. I wish I had some deep slate. I could go and get some deep slate. I'm not entirely against getting deep slate. How do you make a stone cutter? slabs? No. Right? It's like these blocks, I think. Stone cutter, STONECUT cutter. No, it's just 3 normal. Okay, I need a piece of iron. There's no space in stone cutter. Cool. Good job, me. So proud of me. And a site. Like, look at that. That's just nice. No one's gonna know. No one's gonna know.
They're gonna know.
There we go. And I finished the floor with just 1 deep slate left. So I crafted the perfect amount.
How would they know?
Well, that definitely looks like something. What if it did like a leafy lattice type structure over here? He in my house? He's in my house, eating my food. So in this world, I want to be building a lot of farms and like complex, you know, like storage systems and stuff like that. The most complex storage systems I ever had were like chests with signs. A lot of the times I get, you know, elytra, I build a good base, and then I don't really know what to do from there. It's where usually I delete a world or I start a new one. For a long time I was playing hardcore. I never really made it too far. I think I beat the Ender Dragon and fell off an end island. I want to see, do these blocks go well together? Not really. Not really, I'll tell you that much. Not much at all. They just don't. Maybe some bricks, but not really. Granite, tough, moss block. And then throw some dirt around that. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. Granite, dirt, jungle slabs, tough, and moss. Maybe not even tough. Dirt, granite. Could do bricks. Bricks and granite. Uh-oh. What the? Dummies? So like slabs like this. Across. And this doesn't line up with anything. All right, and this is it. I'm really loving this base so far. It's just big enough to get started, plus a little extra room to grow into it. You might have noticed that I added this door. I had a little scare with the creeper, but I just wanted to seal the outside from the inside. But this is what you see when you first walk in. So I made a little kitchen area. This is where I'm just storing my food. I have some smokers to cook them. I might be the only Minecraft player ever to use a smoker. And then I have some furnaces over here, right next to our storage system, just in case I need to smelt something. This might be one of my favorite buildings that I've made. I think the floor really turned out much better than my first attempt. But I have a bulk storage over here, and then this is just my main storage. I don't really need much, because I also have this extra storage over here, which isn't being used at all for anything. Once we start getting more and more materials, then I can start filling up these chests and eventually outgrow this to make a better storage system. The upstairs is kind of lacking. You can see I got some spruce wood. I'm not really that sold on the upstairs, but I think the house is kind of turning out really well. We also have this balcony in case we need to expand out of the house a little bit. So that's the tour. I really love how this place turned out, and I really love the chocolate with the oak wood. I think that looks great. But anyways, you guys, I guess it's time to start wrapping things up. Thank you guys so much for watching. I think this house really turned out the best it could. Just needs a little bit more decorations, but that's always something we can see in the next episode. So you guys have a wonderful day, and I hope to hear from you soon. See you guys.